Philly, Joe and Kirby podcast.
This is the Philly, Joe and Kirby podcast.
92.1 City, Winnipeg's rock station, CCR. You will never. I would. I don't want to say I bet my life on this. That's a little much. I like CCR, but I will say, I challenge anyone to say they've been at a party and someone goes, "Oh, like enough CCR." That's not, like no one. It's not a band that people will get annoyed with.
Well, you can't. Every song's under 3 minutes, except for the one there that.
Born on the Bayou's a little longer.
Yes,
but you're right, Joe.
But they're all feel good tunes. Like they all, are toe tappers.
If you've ever been to a party outside city limits, I'm going to guarantee you there's been a CCR song or two, and everybody and their mother, if you don't know the words, does exactly like you do. That's what I do. I do it to every song.
I have sang CCR at karaoke.
What song?
Wow.
Bad Moon Rising.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
pretty good.
That one's a good one to light up.
It certainly is. I feel like when I'm listening to CCR, I feel the need to put my beer into a jar. Like, I don't know, like
a jar? Like a mason jar?
Like old school redneck. Like the jars like that you would see pickles in. You know how like a jar.
Yeah, mason jar. Yeah.
Mason.
I don't know what it is. I need to be outdoors on the deck.
Like you've done some pickling and you've reused the jar for
just
beer.
a jar of beer.
I'll tell you who's pickled. if you're pouring your beer into one of those jars.
You drink a moonshine.
The long weekend was good. I assume for all of us, it's nice to be back. Last long weekend of summer. Is that what Labor Day is? The long weekend usually billed as?
It seemed that way. It was kind of like a sad ending. I mean, a lot of kids going back to school this week. A lot of happy parents, though. But a lot of people soaking up that last weekend of sunshine. It was nice, though. It was nice out.
Nice weather.
I actually looked ahead at the forecast, and it's weird because we're getting some good temperatures during the day, but it's really cooling off at night, which a lot
That's
of people
nice,
like.
though, yeah.
Open the windows. But I believe next week as well, looks like we're going to be into the mid to high 20s still.
That's the best. Nothing beats
September.
A warm September, like that warm fall air, cool in the morning, a little cool at night, but then nice during the day with the leaves and the nicer weather.
So it looks pretty good.
And we're geared up for the Banjo Bowl. We got Banjo Bowl tickets on the program this morning.
Da-da-ding, ding, 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 ding. Yeah. We're all going too, eh?
We are, baby.
Yeah.
We'll be there. Yeah. Deliverance, by the way, great movie. Speaking of feel-good things, that movie, I'll tell you what.
I don't think people say that about that movie.
They don't?
Phil.
I'm going to tell you something.
I've never seen it, but from what you've told me,
Don't see it.
yeah.
Forget my laziness. There's a reason why I don't canoe or go on one of those whitewater rafting trips.
Is that why, Joe?
Yep, that's why.
Okay.
That movie,
Now I
forever.
know.
For you, I don't like walking in the forest either.
This is the Philly, Joe and Kirby podcast.
Pissed off? Well, then get the off Twitter and call the Bone phone.
Don't make me look up from my phone.
780-BONE. Brought to you by Auto Gallery of Winnipeg.
Hey guys, Rager here. It's September the 2nd, and I'm just calling for a friendly Rager reminder that it is 30 kilometers again in school zones. Those signs are in full effect. You don't want me calling and raging out on you because you're driving around in a school zone like a crazy person, all right? Kids are out there. They're just getting used to going back to school. Let's remember they don't remember, all right? Everybody have a great day. Rager, out!
I think the best line from that whole call was, "You don't want the Rager calling and raging out on you."
That sounds like a great line for a movie trailer. For the movie The Rager. Isn't it?
Yeah,
you don't want the Rager.
That's a good line.
And the movie, and just it could be any one of those action stars, and just
absolutely.
the Rager. This is a new,
I love it,
badass character, a series like John Wick.
Yep.
I like this call because we get so many complaints about big rigs, semis, big trucks in traffic. It's nice to hear the other side.
So I am currently northbound on Route 90, and with the construction, traffic is backed up for miles. So every time I come to an intersection, I wait on the near side of the intersection until there's room for me on the other side of the intersection, so I'm not blocking cross traffic if the light turns red. However, I'm driving a semi. I'm 75 feet long. I need 75 feet of space on the other side before I can pull in. Otherwise, I block the cross traffic. However, every time there is 20 feet of space in front of me, the car in the lane beside pulls through, changes lanes, and takes my 20 feet of space. My only option is to pull into the intersection, take that first 20 feet of space, and leave the extra 50 feet of my trailer sticking out, blocking cross traffic. Please, people, think about it. Why have I not pulled through the intersection? I'm trying to be a courteous driver.
That is not that there aren't a lot of well-spoken truckers, but that guy, I mean, he explained that very well.
I'm going to be honest, when there's a semi, I just get the hell out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Let him
do his thing.
You know what?
Or her thing.
I'm actually trying to think if I've been a culprit of that ever. Like it was a well thought out call. But yeah, maybe it's just a nice reminder for all of us. I wouldn't be surprised if I've done that. Been in the right lane, moved over to the left because there was space, not thinking that this person was waiting to get through. Good.
Strategic,
Good.
yeah.
Guilty. He always stays in touch on the bone phone when we've got a few days off. I know.
You know what? I got a follow from him on Instagram.
Big moment.
And when I was off last week to have some surgery done, he sent me a get well. So I thought that was very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guilty. Your life has changed for the better. Now that
I
you're
hope you enjoy all of my inspirational quotes.
Your life will get a lot better, Guilty. Watch him all of a sudden start complaining less, like because he's going to see your motivational quotes in the morning.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah. He has no idea that he just entered the island of tranquility for life.
Well, here he is.
All right, Philly. What are you doing on the long weekend monitoring the bone phone? Hey. So I just want to say, like, again, people that are driving 80 or 90 on 100, and most people these days drive a little over the speed limit. If you find somebody 5 feet from your bumper, that's the person doing the speed limit. So when you're going that far below and he just decides to do the speed limit, if you can't drive at the speed limit, you should be off the road. Quite simple.
Okay, thank you very much,
Quite
Guilty.
simple.
This was Kirby follow.
Yes.
There's a little intensity still in his voice. I saw he posted some nice pictures of up around Gimli over the weekend, but that still does not put him on the island of tranquility that he will have now entered.
I'll find a good one for today.
Yeah,
just
let
for
him know.
Guilty.
Yeah, he needs something good from you. Attach a selfie to it too, with some inspiration in there.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, the man's gonna honestly, he's gonna look back on this past weekend as a changing moment in his life. Okay.
Shut up.
Would you rather from last week? One of the questions was, what would you rather wrestle? I think a silverback gorilla or an alligator.
Hey, guys, how's this going? I heard your Wednesday thing about the gorilla and the crocodile. Here's my theory on that. The crocodile will drown you for 5 to 10 minutes. Then he's going to tuck you under some log down at the bottom and come back for you.
Sounds nice.
Gorilla, he's just going to rip your head off, throw it away, and you're pretty much done at that point anyway. You're going to die either way, so that's my point.
And I think I'd go with the head ripped off quick, then get buried. As tantalizing as being buried under a log by an alligator sounds.
I can't swim, so I'm going fast either way.
I'm sad I didn't get a weigh in on this because I would have totally taken on. I would have chosen to fight the alligator.
Well,
no, you wouldn't have fought either one. I think would have been your first response.
Well, no, because I don't want to fight.
Cute.
Yes, but I mean the alligator. I have a better chance at because have you ever seen their arms? They're so little, and they're all jaw and mouth. So if you get out the back end of that thing, and get a handle on the tail, I think you're okay.
My answer was there's people that have fought alligators for a living. I've never heard of one. Fight a gorilla for a living.
No,
so
because
that's why I went
it's
that
too
route.
intense. Like
it's too intense,
Have you seen their little arms? Have you seen how fast those little arms can go on land? They're pretty quick.
All right, this didn't make the cut in sports at 6 o'clock, but I'm sure it'll find its way in there as we move along this morning. I'm not sure if either of you saw this on social media or on TV. Joey Chestnut set a new world record by eating 83 hot dogs in 10 minutes. And what made this such a big deal, he was up against longtime rival Takiro Kobayashi in Vegas.
Do they not have a special on Netflix already or a documentary?
That
Right?
was being streamed, like Phil was saying
Yeah.
last night. So now it's available. I saw it this morning when I
Oh,
was.
that was the live event?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it.
So now you didn't miss it. You can watch it
spoiler
now.
alert.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you're
not
gonna
kidding.
watch it on Netflix. So 83 to 67, Chestnut beat Kobayashi. His previous world record was 76.
Ooh, shattered
76
it.
hot dogs.
That was his previous record. New one is 83, and this makes me laugh. The event was titled "Unfinished Beef."
That's great. Yeah, I'm sure that's what they used on all those hot dogs, just beef.
Right, and this was a no dunking rule in this one. You know how you usually see them dipping them in the water and making it easier to swallow? But that didn't stop Chestnut. Forget this no dunking rule. He didn't care. Like, this guy is unbelievable.
Is there strategy involved in getting like hot dogs or?
Oh, yeah, this guy's
Oh, yeah,
phenomenal.
come
He's
on.
a phenom. Yeah, of course there's
They've got a strategy for sure. I don't think, and I love hot dogs. I don't think I ate 83 hot dogs in 2024 yet. Have you?
No.
I wish. Can I tell you something? Because Joe is a damn good hot dog eater. I don't know, like in his heyday, he's told stories of eight.
You love a good charity barbecue dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
When I was in high school, I'd come home for lunch and have 4 or 5. So you're talking about a couple of pretty good hot dog eaters here.
83.
In our prime, I would have. There's no way him and I could have. It's not worth us having a hot dog eating contest now. I don't think, because I can't eat like I once did.
No, but those 4 or 5, you ate over a 45-minute to an hour period, not 10 minutes.
That's the catch.
And same with you. You were on location when you ate those 8 hot dogs, probably over 4 hours.
Over 4 hours.
That's still awesome. That's more than I ever ate. 8 is incredible.
I don't know what was into me that day, but yeah, 8 is my
They're
record.
so good coming off the barbecue every now and then. You can just hammer them back.
It's like golf tournaments. Sometimes you get a hot dog hole, and it doesn't matter if you need that hot dog because you just had lunch and it was the first hole you're starting on. You're still grabbing a hot dog.
Absolutely. You're not saying no.
And
I'm
that's
not
why-
eating 83 of them in 10 minutes to get a payday, though.
They have them outside bars for a reason.
100%.
now. Because it's just one of those foods that you can hammer back.
So you must. Now, most hot dog carts have a veggie dog?
Yeah.
They
Yes.
do, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've definitely had myself a veggie dog outside the Pal.
Have you ever had 4 or 5, even back in your meat eating days?
Yeah.
Just one. I'm
one
a
hot dog?
one hot dog kind of gal.
No documentary about you on Netflix.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Aerosmith, 92-1 City. You know what? This is the kind of friendship we have in this room and chemistry we have. You know, behind the curtain. I can tell Joe's got something to say even before I start talking. I just kind of glance over at him, and it's like, I know Joe's got something to add, and I bet you it has something to do with Aerosmith.
Yeah, Artist of the Week. There's something our music department had been working on for a little bit there, and I guess it was escalated with the Pearl Jam World Tour trip to Fenway, which was given away last week. And they decided that they're going to spotlight some artists and a lot of deeper cuts from their playlist. And you're not going to find too many with that list like Aerosmith, especially the 2 sounds of Aerosmith. If you take Dream On to where Steven Tyler's voice was and their sound as a band to when the late 80s and 90s hit and they changed their whole sound and dynamic and really sold like blockbusters. And then there's Kirby. Listen, I wish they had discussed which artist they were going to make Artist of the Week, because every time an Aerosmith song is going to play, and they'll up the ante this week, you're going to hear this from Kirby.
Well, it's a sore spot for me because I've never got a chance to see Aerosmith. And the joke's been twice in my life I've had tickets, and both times, well, once Steven Tyler fell off the stage, the other time he was not feeling well.
Well.
And so I was hoping that day would come with their last tour, and then they canceled that one and then made the announcement that they're never going to tour again. So if you've had the chance to see Aerosmith,
Yes,
congrats.
I'll tell you what, though, the announcement comes every song. So that's back to our friendship, our chemistry, on or off the air.
You know what's coming.
You heard it once on the air. We've heard it a few times
Is this your way of telling me I've told you guys too many times?
It's a quasi-intervention.
Okay.
Actually, every time there's an Aerosmith song, I realize that...
Have you done that inspirational message on Instagram yet this morning?
I have, yes.
You have?
Yeah.
Did you? What'd you put?
Would you have a
I
selfie?
didn't see it, did I?
Joe is good at reading these. It's not a selfie, no. I didn't.
Come on. It doesn't mean as much if it's not a bathroom selfie attached to it. You know that.
Sorry, Phil.
I must have passed by it. I don't see it.
You don't see it? Okay, I'll read it to you guys.
Oh,
Here we go,
Okay,
everybody.
Ready for your motivational quote?
Have a seat. Put the coffee down. Listen up.
The truth is, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't belong there anymore. And that is healing.
That is the Kirbyest thing I've ever heard.
If I could, hold on, we got to digest this. I'm a little older. If I could go back in time.
The truth is, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't belong there anymore.
You wouldn't belong there anymore.
And that's healing.
That's healing.
Yes.
That's beautiful. And you know what? We'll dedicate that to Guilty this morning, one of our new followers on Instagram.
Oh my God,
Yes.
you guys.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was nice to have a break.
It's nice to heal. It's nice to heal.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Coming back off the long weekend. And we do this every now and then with the PJK Extra. We'll talk about what we've been watching lately, whether it's a movie, a TV show. I know that I watched Furiosa. Finally, I'm a big fan of the series, the reboot of the series.
That's the new one, right?
That's the newest one.
Yeah, it did look good.
Yeah, I mean, these movies, it's, what's a good way to put it? Like, they're not for everybody. For example, like my wife, not a big fan of these movies. I think, Kirby, you said you want to see Furiosa.
Yeah, because they're based off of like the other.
Yeah.
The one with what's
Mel
her
Gibson
face? Yeah.
and Tina Turner was in one of them back in the day. Again, fantastic movies. The first one had Tom Hardy, of course, Charlize Theron. And then this one here, which is Furiosa, who Charlize Theron plays. This is her origin story. And what's his name? Liam Hemsworth, right? Thor? Is he the one who played Thor?
Yeah.
Liam? Anyway, he's in this. He's fantastic. I loved the movie. It's one of those I would watch it again for sure.
Well, I watched, I love the first two movies. A Quiet Place, like the premise of the movie. This is the third one that just got released. I was stressed. It was the most stressful movie I've watched in my life because there was a cat in it.
Well, and A Quiet Place for you is tough too, right? There are no quiet places when you're involved.
Well, Phil, this is the sad part. I don't think I would last very long.
No.
Because the whole premise is that you have, sound attracts these, I don't know, monsters to kill you.
Yeah.
And they'll
you
come out of
decided to
nowhere.
watch that.
Yeah. So anyways, I just know I wouldn't last very long in that movie. And the cat gave me, like I said, anxiety the whole time. I thought it was going to meow and attract, these creatures, but no.
There's something about cats in scary movies. Like the premise is usually they see the evil before the humans do.
Well,
they sense things.
I'm going to be honest. I actually Googled at the very beginning. As soon as I saw there was a cat, does the cat die in Quiet Place? Because if it did, I would have stopped it.
Right.
I can't handle that.
Sure. Absolutely.
Anyways.
I ended up watching a couple of movies this weekend. One of them was The Instigators on Apple TV.
Yeah.
Casey Affleck wrote the story. His brother Ben was involved in some kind of the production end. And of course, Matt Damon was in it. Based in Boston. Pretty good movie for something that was on Apple TV. And the other one was The Fall Guy. With Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. And all the trailers looked so good that they had a ton of chemistry. And I thought their chemistry was pretty good in the movie, but it was really slow starting, I thought, for an action romantic comedy. And it really picked up for me at the end. I thought it was pretty good. There was some real good little throwaway lines when their relationship became a disaster that she keeps throwing.
The only reason I watched that movie was because you were so pumped about it, Joe.
Well, because I used to love the TV show.
Joe and I, Lee Majors, right, was the original Fall Guy?
Well, you have to watch it right to the end. They show some stunts that happen in the show, and then Lee Majors shows up with Heather Locklear.
Oh
boy, has she. They both had work done, but she doesn't say anything, and I think it's because she can't move her lips or anything anymore, but Lee Majors has a couple lines at the end.
Yeah, but I bet she looks good.
I didn't think so, Kirby. She looked like a wax statue.
The too much work syndrome.
Too much.
Yeah. By the way, I had the wrong Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth.
I was going to say, I thought
it's him.
Honestly,
that's in
everybody gets those two mixed up, though. Yeah.
He's the one that's in Furiosa. That's PJK Extra.
Philly, Joe, Kirby.
Philly, Joe, and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly, Joe, and Kirby podcast.
I thought you were going to say that since it's Tuesday, that makes it 2 days ago Tuesday. Sorry, hashtag 2 days ago Tuesday.
That. You know
Yeah,
what?
baby.
I'm telling you, I can't believe it. I mentioned it last Tuesday, and this thing has just caught fire.
It's viral.
Well, I wouldn't say it's there yet, but
You know what? Why do you always have to try to poke holes in 2 days ago Tuesday? This is going to be something Joe might be recognized for someday, like in Rogers Media.
In the Broadcasting Hall of Fame?
Yes, a plaque.
I understand, but listen, I was the one who just told him that I searched the hashtag on Instagram and people were actually posting.
Okay.
So
Boom.
I'm saying it's catching on.
That's the kind of support we're looking for.
Okay.
Well, I could use a little bit more.
Well, you know what I could?
You
I
didn't
could
want
use a little
even-
bit more of a social life on Sundays because if I'm going to need content for Tuesdays now, I need to be out more on Sundays.
There you go.
Yeah,
Now that's the kind of support I need to hear.
So we need to do more things on
I fully
Sunday.
understand. You weren't expecting me to come up with that last week.
I'm proud of you, actually.
No, actually, you would have been better off coming up with something like that yourself because you're on social media all
Yeah,
the
but
time.
I'm proud of you for coming
Thanks.
up with it.
Well, a week ago, you weren't even jumping on board, if you remember.
I'm
It's a
happy.
new week, Joe.
I'm happy that I just told you guys off air.
Yeah.
Last week I didn't have a 2-dat picture. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I golfed with my brother on Sunday morning.
Got a
I
picture of it?
I haven't posted the pic. I did get a picture, and I
Now
haven't even.
you can.
Hashtag 2 days ago Tuesday.
So remember now, it's the hashtag, the number 2, DAT.
Somebody just
2-dat.
sent us a 2-dat photo on the Boston Pizza text line, 762-555.
Oh.
Is that like a slab of meat of some sort? Like
Yeah.
it's something on the barbecue.
Yeah, that's a smoker, I think. Full barbecue. That looks great.
Send that to me. It's going to make me hungry. But
And you
we
went
love-
golfing.
I went golfing with my brother. Yeah, we went to Tuxedo. I'm about to share the picture. This is what we do on Tuesdays, though. Share us if you got a picture that you took on Sunday. A lot of people might be a Labor Day Classic photo.
Well, that would have been it for me, yeah.
You know what?
On Sunday.
I was just telling Joe, I actually do have a picture. My 2 cats sitting together because it's a rare occasion.
Yeah.
And that was on Sunday?
Yes, it was
Are
on
you sure?
Sunday.
Are you sure that's 2-dat? Isn't that more like 2-cat Tuesday?
You know what, Joe? You just gave me a caption idea.
A whole different hashtag.
We don't want to
See?
compete with
She's
2-dat.
not on board. You are
I'm
not on board.
Like, what do you want me to do? Jump up and down with pom poms?
That would be good. Do you
Well,
have pom-poms?
did it happen on Sunday?
This is the Philly, Joe, and Kirby podcast.
There's a 2-dat animal story on the Boston Pizza text line. Is that what you're telling me, Kirby?
No, just the person that had the bears in the campsite.
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
We got that
yeah.
photo early this morning. Somebody sent us a picture on the Boston Pizza text line of some bears at their campsite.
And then tagged it. Mm-hmm. 2-dat.
2 black bears.
That's right.
Yeah, this morning, though, I had my own little animal encounter.
By the way, before we get to your animal story, thank you so much. We're getting tons of text messages. Hashtag 2 days ago Tuesday or hashtag 2-dat.
I think it's really heating up fast. We'll have to. Kirby says not yet. But
I said it's not
yet.
viral yet.
Right,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you know, we need to
She's
walk
the harder
before we run.
The harder sell.
Oh, right from the beginning. Really?
Oh my gosh. Okay, this morning I thought I was going to be late because I was going to rescue this little cat that ran across the street in front of St. Boniface Hospital, okay?
You're going to rescue it. You just jump out of the vehicle and chase it down and find the owners.
Yes. Because
Okay.
if it's out wandering the streets, I just want to make sure if it has a collar or something that it's like
Yes.
not too far away from home
Sure.
or whatever. And usually I'll check the St. Boniface community page to make sure nobody's missing their cat. But anyways, I was trying to get this little guy. I thought it was a little kitten. I was like, oh, it's just a baby. And so I pulled over and I was trying to get it. I was like, come here. Turns out it was a skunk.
A skunk. The white stripe didn't give it away.
I got a video of it. It's deceiving at that hour that it looked like a cat. But then I was like, whoa, that's a little bushy of a tail for...
I'm going to have to see this video to see how deceiving. I've never in my life mistaken a cat for a skunk.
It sounds like a Bugs Bunny cartoon with Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah.
I almost almost rescued a skunk.
And you're Elmer Fudd.
You almost got sprayed is what you almost did.
Could you imagine? And you know what? We're all out of tomato juice here at work. So stay in your vehicle, folks.
Oh my gosh. But anyways, it made me remind too, I wanted to tell you guys about a story that went viral. This went viral on the internet over the weekend. Wildlife Haven, we've done some work with them, as well. And they had to release a statement just reminding the public because of an incident that had happened. If you ever spot a turtle crossing the road, just like help it across. Do not pick it up and relocate it. Like turtles can spend their entire lives looking for their home if you take them away. That's so sad. So they just reminded that
that's common. Is it the time of year or there you see
turtles
across the road? Is it like wasp season? Turtles crossing the road season?
Yeah, I guess in some of these areas with water.
It was always a chicken and the jokes. It was never a turtle.
I've never encountered a turtle crossing the road, but you never know.
Apparently, I remember being somewhere like at a resort, and they had the turtles, the baby turtles, and you're not supposed to pick them up because of geolocation. There's something in them that you can put once they get to water, they know where they're going to get back home. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So you're not supposed to pick them up.
Well, this person thought that the turtle was lost, so they brought it into the Wildlife Haven, and then they were like, you're not supposed to do that. But they didn't know. It was, well-intentioned.
You can move them off of the highway, though.
Yes, but just like help them across help them across the road, but just like don't take them away from where they're from because that's where their, home is.
Wow, this turned into Lauren Green's New Wilderness. I'm telling you what, we started with two dad.
I have
mistaking a skunk for a cat.
It's still Tuesday.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, we're all better off
for knowing about when you run into that turtle.
Don't move them off
on the highway.
Don't take them to Wildlife Haven. Wow.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Somebody gave me Kirby.
Wow. Woo.
Man,
very aggressive.
Tell you what, just what I needed. I'll be honest. On a Tuesday, coming off the long weekend, it's Ian, who's working away, our music director here at 92.1 City. Kudos to you, because it is banger after banger this morning.
I'll tell you what, I sure miss that voice, too. Thank God it lives on in his music. But Scott Whalen had a set of pipes on him and a lot of troubles.
Yeah. Well said, Joe. It's 8:11 with Philly, Joe, and Kirby. We got the bone phone coming up in less than 10 minutes, but we've got to tell you about this, Curbs, because you missed it. You were away on Wednesday. And Joe and I, the business savvy in this room.
What happens when I go away? Because I'm going to be honest, I heard something about you guys opening up a store.
Not this new idea. Not to be confused with the Philly and Joe 55-plus community that is still in the hopper.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Joe's looking for contacts and contractors.
Land.
Land.
Trying to get some land.
Got to start with the land.
So he's on that. And now, our latest idea from last week, a 92.1 City store.
Yes.
Store with 92.1 City merch.
Okay. I could get on board with this, I think.
And not your typical merch, like
of course not.
Well, obviously all the typical stuff, right?
Yeah.
Your T-shirts and your hoodies and your toques.
But there has to be the section of things that you guys would think that needs to be branded as well.
And you too. We want you to weigh in here too.
Yeah, sure.
But what was a few of the hot ticket items that came up last week?
Man.
Fill me in, please.
I'll tell you what, there was the Crocs, 92.1 City Crocs.
Well,
that's how it started.
You guys both own them. So
yes. I said, Winnipeg's best Croc. Right there.
Oh my God, Joe. I love a good saying.
See, we're going to put the little logos.
Winnipeg's best Croc.
And you know how the kids accessorize their Crocs and some adults? Yeah. You're going to be able to accessorize with... what do you call it? With the little...
the little...
things that go...
Yeah,
whatever
I know
called.
what you mean.
92.1 City condoms. The slogan.
Yeah, Magnum, of course.
We barely work, because, of course, we get told that all the time. We barely work.
Well, we want to make sure that there's a a bit of some fine print on that box.
I can't believe we forgot how this kind of came up. It was the Crocs, but also the house coat.
The house coat is how it started, Kirby.
You want a house coat, Joe.
Oh, yes, because we were talking about house coats before I left.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I said this would be a great thing because it's outside the box. Who wouldn't like a house coat? You know, you go out to the hot tub or maybe just to go grab the mail. Or your newspaper. Come to work if you want.
Imagine going to the Burt Block
Go
party.
to the Burt Block party wearing a house coat, and people were eating it up.
Okay, I could see the house coats and the Crocs.
And we wound up getting some, like as I mentioned, we got the bone phone coming up, but these are a few calls that came in pertaining to merch that people would like to see if and when we get this store.
Hey, yo, you guys are talking about 92 City gear. I'd definitely love for you guys to get some fanny packs. I'm a cyclist, one of the ones that follows the rules, by the way, and those things are fantastic on the road. Also had an idea with your bathrobes. Make them white so we can wear them at the next whiteout come playoff season. Let's go. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So
That's a good idea.
those are called gibbets, by the way. Thank you to Nathan on the Boston
For
Pizza
the
text
Crocs?
for the Crocs.
Wow, what a dumb name.
Fanny pack. We have done it in the past. We said we'd put that back on the list.
Yeah.
We even said we were looking at the Kirby limited edition, not authorized Winnipeg Jets blue dress.
Non-logoed.
Non-logoed.
It's non-logoed. So I don't think we'd have any issues selling it because it wouldn't be any issue with trademarking.
It's going to be hot. I mean, between when there's that Bomber Jets crossover that's coming up here in September.
It's a good crossover to have.
That is actually the best part about the non-logo dress.
There's a lot of good things coming in, and it all started, I forgot all about it when I brought up what would be great as a 92 City house coat.
To wear everywhere.
Wear everywhere you want to wear it.
Well, what is this? 10-in-1 92 City body gel wash?
Yes.
A 10-in-1.
Well,
Okay.
That's a little excessive. That's too many products in one.
Well, not only that, listen, now we're going to get into we can't go up against shoppers. I mean, are we going to be a clothing store?
Well, we got to have a few, if you're going to let me in on this, guys.
Well, you're in. What do you
We got to have.
Hold on.
What do you mean, hold on?
Well, we had our little get-together last week. You were away. I didn't say you could come in yet. What are you going to bring to the table?
Well, I got to offer some accessories, for the ladies, and then some makeup.
Makeup.
Yeah, the 92 City themed makeup, the colors of our logo.
You can't sell makeup.
You need
What
a
is
palette with the yellow and the black.
No.
Okay.
No.
Are you going to run the makeup counter?
You know what?
You're going to be putting in some serious hours.
Listen, see what I'm saying? I'm
We're
not
gonna
going
have fragrances next.
I'm not
Would you like to
committing
test
that.
the latest Philly fragrance?
Joe's not sold.
No.
Kirby's
Okay.
in.
I'm
You know
not
what?
sold on this.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Don't forget to get your 50-50 tickets, 921city.ca. The big win 50-50.
Now, if I noticed this correctly, and one of you guys correct me if I'm wrong, please, but I think it's over 40 grand already, so the winner's going to take home half. And it's been crazy how many people that I've run into over the last little while that are saying they're just buying up tickets. It's for the Dream Factory, and if you've ever seen what this place does for kids with critical illnesses, not only sending them on journeys, sometimes to a dream trip, but also what they do locally for them, creating these unbelievable experiences for them and their family just to let them escape.
Phil, you really got to sell it, though. You really got to, you got to put remember I told you, I think I'd be a good 50-50 person?
Yeah, one of those volunteers.
Get your 50-50s! Get your 50-50 right here.
You should go out front of the station after the show.
I will tell you this right now. I'm throwing this out there because you've been involved with minor hockey as many others, and it's starting to really rev up.
Yeah.
Every team has to put the parents on notice on which ones are going to volunteer for the 50-50. I think it should be a contest that you could get Kirby to come to your minor hockey game
And work a 50-50.
and work the 50-50 with the pail and another parent. Let her just do the yelling for the
my
game.
God.
Could you imagine the arenas of Manitoba?
Stop the game.
Get
Can
ready.
we please get that lady out of here, please?
Yeah, that's...
And that's not even the opposing team. That'll be the home team trying to get you out of the building.
I'm just visualizing you're at Southdale trying to watch your child, and there's this lady in front of you screaming.
Yes.
Get your 50-50! What is going on?
Buy some tickets. Let the noise stop. Buy some tickets. It'll be the biggest 50-50
You don't
at a
have
minor
to
hockey game.
harass people
Lady,
for tickets.
if it means you're going to stop, we'll buy whatever you have left.
Yeah.
It's like
Could you imagine that?
You might work to my advantage, honestly.
The acoustics of some of those buildings, too. Listening to that reverberate.
Oh, you guys.
Anyway, this is an easier one. You don't have to listen to all the hollering. You just have to text us at 762-555, the word dream, and you'll get the link automatic. And we're happy to be helping these guys out. It's fantastic.
It is great. The big
One more.
win.
Come on.
Come on, yeah, Kirby. Big win,
It's
50-50.
the big win, 50-50.
For more Philly, Joe, and Kirby, lock it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.